Let's look at the metrics of a simple moving average price crossover strategy on Bitcoin USDT on Binance. So this is a long-only strategy that we are going to explore today. This is part 3 somehow, because I have continued to explore, to discover new things about that apparently very simple strategy, which is a simple moving average price crossover strategy. And yes, that's what we are going to do today. What do I do on this channel? This is very simple. I do multiple backtests and I want statistical significant results. So like everyone else, maybe you, I started with manual trading, and sometimes I was very frustrated with the decisions that I was taking. So what I did, because of my IT background, I studied algorithmic trading, which is called sometimes automated trading or robot trading. And I wanted to find strategies that perform well, of course, with a certain number of occurrences of trades. I want a certain amount of trades so that we can gain conviction, confidence into the strategies. And that's exactly what I do on this channel. I test multiple indicators, data points, and then I want strategies at the end. This is my ultimate goal. And I want a portfolio of these automated strategies that I can run all the time. That's what I do currently on a portion of my portfolio. So today, let's explore the SMA-Price crossover in 4 hours for Bitcoin USDT on Binance. So for the details, this is a long-only strategy. I do compound all the time all the investment into the long, just so you know, and I apply a 0.1% fee on entry and exits of each trade. Here, as you can see, we are on the daily time frame. So I wanted to show you that sometimes TradingView is limited, because if you want to do a Pine script test, which is first not very accurate all the time, and second for 4 hour and 2 hour, if you want all the historical data, which starts here from August 2017, you won't have that. If I just switch to 4 hours, I won't have the whole data and the whole backtest that I want here. As you can see, I have to power up my plan, and that's not what I want here. I just want a more accurate backtest that I do in a custom fashion in Python. So now let's take a look at this heat map. This is a very simple heat map that tests all the SMA length for this very particular strategy that we are testing today, the SMA-Price crossover. Essentially, when the price, the close price of a particular candlestick in 4 hour here is above the SMA, we just enter a long. And when it's below, we close the long. So I've tested multiple lengths, which you can see on the left. And the first column is just the performance of the particular backtest. And you see here a group of very green SMA length and performances and sharp ratios that you can see in the second column. So that's what we are going to focus on. So apparently the best SMA length for Bitcoin USDT in 4 hours are about between 230 and 270, something like that. Of course, it's a backtest. Maybe we are just overfitting. We are never sure, of course, and I wanted to say that the performance that we get here, we will get the same performance in the future. Of course, it's absolutely not guaranteed, but at least we have some data that we can rely on. And that's what I wanted to show you in this video. And this is the whole point of this channel. This is to take data-driven decisions in your trading. Also, and compared to the 2 previous videos that I published on this channel, here we are in 4 hour time frame again. And in the previous videos, I especially explored the 1 day, so the daily time frame. And I was not particularly satisfied because there are not many trades, and I want a lot of trades. So why do we want a lot of trades? Because we want a certain number of occurrences to have statistical significance in the results, and thus have a certain level of conviction, of confidence in your strategies. So we want at the very least 100 trades, but ideally we would like to have hundreds and even thousands of trades. So what I did is I selected the 250 length let's go and explore the results together. As you can see here are the results of the backtest from about 2017 to 2025, where we are today. On top, you get the Bitcoin price in 4 hours in black, and in blue, this is the SMA, the 250 length simple moving average. So what I did is simplify the visualization. When it's green, when you see the green background, it's just that we are in a long position. And below, in blue, you can see the equity curve of the backtest that we are performing here. We start with a capital of $1,000 and we end with a very cool capital of 50K at the end. Very good performance at first sight, but when we are algo trading, when we trade professionally, we have to look at the risk. And what's the risk? Usually it's volatility, standard deviation of your returns, or what we call drawdowns. So basically, how much your equity curve can drop. Ideally, we would want a very nice uptrend blue curve all the time. But of course, that's not what the markets give us all the time, as you know. So we have to be able to withstand the drawdowns, and for that we want drawdowns as little as possible. Like for example 20% a year, but maybe you are less risk tolerant and you want even less than that. So you have to adapt your strategies and your portfolios accordingly. And that's the whole point of this channel. Again, we want multiple strategies with multiple hundreds of trades. So now let's take a look at the returns in the Sharpe ratios of such a backtest. So here you can see the distribution of returns. So essentially they are around 0%, centered around 0%, but in fact it's hard to see for such strategies, but a very small amount of trades make the whole performance. And this is very typical of such strategies, such trend following strategies like SMA-Price crossover that like we do here. So you have multiple small losses, sometimes bigger ones of course, and you can have multiple big returns which compounded make the whole performance, which is about a 40x here on 7 years. And when we do a specific robustness test on our backtest, just not to rely on the single backtest that we did, we apply another pass to get some other Sharpe ratio, and as you can see they seem to be around 1.5, which is very good. Now let's take a look again at our heat map, and we can see that we could have maybe another group of length which is interesting to us. This is the one around 120. And why am I interested in that? Because these lengths are very far away from these ones. It may be interesting to have two strategies with two significantly different lengths in your portfolio. Like this, you capitalize on various rhythms in the price action. So here are the returns, the performance. It's about a 20x as you can see, so maybe it's less interesting at first sight, but it's not a problem because again we want to add a strategy that maybe is quite not so much correlated to the first one. So of course it would require us to calculate this correlation and to go further in the study, and that's what I do in the premium member area. And you can see finally the distribution of Sharpe ratios, which seem to be at first sight a little bit less good than the first set of length, around 250. Here again the length that I selected is 130. Just so you can see here the first length of 250 and here the length of 130. So overall very good performances for both of them. Okay, so I hope you get the point. Here we explored two strategies in 4 hours on Bitcoin USDT for a very long backtest period of time, and the results are very interesting, far better than just hodling Bitcoin. So this is very interesting, and this SMA-Price crossover strategy, I'm going to continue exploring it on the premium member area and make sure that these lengths of 250 and 130 that we're just exploring today maybe they are going to continue performing in the future and maybe not. So we have to make sure, if you effectively algo trade these, we have to make sure that they continue to have good performance, of course, and that it's not overfitting that we are doing here.